It was a chilly Saturday morning when Harper knelt beside the display window, her tired eyes tracing the bright pink boxes lined up like little dreams she couldn't afford. Her daughter, Mia, stood beside her in a faded blue dress, clutching the edge of her mother's torn sleeve, her eyes glued to a Barbie doll with golden hair and a sparkling pink gown. Inside the glass, everything looked perfect, smiling faces, glossy boxes, and promises of joy. Outside, Harper's reflection told another story, one of exhaustion, struggle, and endless love wrapped in worry. She swallowed hard, feeling the sting behind her eyes. And then, with a trembling voice, she whispered, "Sweetheart, I can't afford a Barbie for your birthday this year. If you believe kindness and second chances can still change this world, then take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Because sometimes, it takes just one act of compassion to rewrite someone's story forever." Harper had never imagined life would look like this. Once, she worked at a cheerful cafe downtown, serving customers with a smile while saving every tip for Mia's small joys, crayons, ice cream, little ribbons for her hair. But when the cafe shut down after new management took over, Harper found herself jobless with overdue rent and barely enough food to last the week. Her husband had left years ago when Mia was a baby, leaving her with nothing but a note and a mountain of bills. Yet she fought, every single day, working odd cleaning shifts, folding laundry for neighbors, and skipping meals so her daughter wouldn't go to bed hungry. Now, as Mia's 6th birthday approached, Harper wanted nothing more than to give her something special. Mia had been talking about Barbie for months, how her friend at school had won, how she wished she could brush her hair and dress her up. But Harper's wallet held only $8 crumpled. She tried smiling when Mia asked again, but her heart ached knowing the truth, she couldn't even buy a cake, let alone that doll behind the glass. She sat on the cold curb that morning, watching her daughter press her tiny hand against the store window, whispering, "Maybe one day, Mommy," and before Harper could respond, a man in a dark suit stepped out of the store. He was tall, neatly dressed, with an expression that looked stern yet curious. He had been standing near the doorway for a while, unnoticed, watching the mother and daughter. His name was Cole Harrington, the CEO of the very toy company that made those Barbie dolls. But Harper didn't know that. To her, he was just another stranger in an expensive suit. Cole had been having a rough morning himself. Meetings, deadlines, endless reports about profits and market trends, the usual noise of a life that had forgotten simplicity. But something about the way Harper knelt beside her child, her eyes filled with pain and love, stopped him. It reminded him of his own mother, a woman who once cleaned offices so he could have textbooks and a chance at something better. As he watched, Harper wiped Mia's tears and whispered, "You're still my princess, with or without a Barbie." The words hit him harder than any business deal ever had. Moments later, as Harper stood up to leave, trying to distract Mia with a promise of pancakes at home, Cole quietly called out to the store clerk. "Can you pack the display Barbie, the one in the pink gown?" he said, slipping his card onto the counter. The clerk blinked, surprised. "Yes, sir, of course." Then Cole followed them outside. Harper froze when the men approached. She instinctively pulled Mia closer, her heart racing. "Excuse me," Cole said gently, holding a pink box wrapped in a ribbon. "I couldn't help but overhear, maybe this could make her birthday a little brighter." Harper blinked, confused. "Oh, no, sir, please. I can't accept that," she stammered. But Cole shook his head. "You're not accepting it from me," he said quietly. "You're accepting it from one parent to another. From someone who knows what it means to want more for your child than the world allows you to give." Tears welled in Harper's eyes as she looked down at the doll. Mia's face lit up with pure joy, her tiny hands trembling as she held it. "Mommy, she looks like me," she whispered, smiling through her tears. Harper couldn't speak. She just nodded, her throat tight with gratitude. Cole didn't stay for thanks. He simply smiled, turned away, and walked toward a sleek black car waiting nearby. But before he got in, he paused. "Ma'am," he said softly, "we're hiring seasonal staff at the new warehouse. If you're looking for work, tell them Cole sent you." Then he left. That night, Harper placed the doll on their small kitchen table, lit a single candle from last year's leftovers, and sang happy birthday to her daughter. Mia clapped, laughing, holding her new Barbie tight. Harper watched her, smiling through tears. For the first time in a long time, hope didn't feel like a fantasy. Days later, Harper mustered the courage to visit the warehouse. She didn't expect much. She had no references, no polished resume. But when she mentioned Cole's name, the manager's eyes widened. "You're the woman he talked about," he said warmly. "We've been waiting for you." She got the job that very day. Months passed, and Harper's life began to change. She worked hard, earned respect, and slowly built a stable life for Mia. She found herself surrounded by people who believed in her, co-workers who became friends, a boss who supported her growth, and a daughter who never stopped believing in magic. One evening, after receiving her first steady paycheck, Harper took Mia back to that same store window. "Remember this place?" she whispered, smiling. "It's where our story changed." Mia looked up at her mother and said, "No, Mommy, it's where you changed everything." Sometimes, it isn't grand gestures or miracles that change a life. Sometimes, it's a moment of compassion, a stranger's quiet kindness that turns despair into hope. Cole never told anyone about what he did that day. But for Harper, it became the turning point she had prayed for in silence every night. Before the ending, tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were in the CEO's place? Would you have stopped to help, or walked away like most people do? If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner, where every story reminds us that humanity still shines brightest when life feels darkest. Because somewhere out there, another Harper is waiting for someone's kindness to change her world.